Runner Pro treadmill. This is straps were on.
Yeah.
Already cut them off.
Yeah.
Come in and take the top off. In the box, you will find somewhere the toolkit and the manual. In this one here, you've got the manual, the MP3 plug, and the safety key, which you need to put on the console, otherwise it will not work, and a little small pot of lubricant. That's to one side. Here you have a twister. This comes free with a treadmill, and it's used to twist with your midsection.
Yeah, looking good.
Thank you very much. Right, we'll first cut open the toolkit, and then we can get to the tools.
Under pressure.
There's no pressure,
Nah, that's it, mate. It's all good, it's all good.
Okay. Two of you take the iron off the console. You can put the console back here into place. Make sure the holes line up. Sometimes you might need to play around with it a little bit. Get one of the M820 screws with the washer. In here it comes with the right Allen key. These just take quite long to turn, so if you have got one of these, it's a lot quicker. You just put that in there. Not too tight at the beginning. Same on the other side. To lift it up so it lines up. Okay, so they're both in now, so I can tighten them up fully. Yeah, that's that one done. And that's that one done. The console is now fully in place. Next, we'll take this off. Plastic side covers, which will go on later. There's two of them. Right, next thing is really get a bit of space and break it if you have the space to do so. Just be careful of the treadmill.
Yep.
You've got some more space here. Okay. Again, the M820 screws, so you'll safely, both of you really will pick that up so it's not angled too much. It's the smaller screws that go into the top console. I only do about halfway initially. One there with the washer.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one there. Exactly the same again on this side. Thank you. There. And then one there. And then we go back to the toolkit. Here you have the two long screws. They're called the M8 55s. We'll take that out. With a washer on each one. There's one there, one there, and these go on the side.
That's a side bit, right?
Yeah. Through there. Sometimes I have to lift this up slightly and play around so it actually goes through. It can be a bit tricky initially, so sometimes that's why you've got to leave these looser. Just play around with it, pick it up, move it around, then it feels right and it's going through. Right, it's going through now. So now you can fully tighten this completely, which I've done. You can fully tighten this one now. Yeah, so it's nice and stable. And this side. That's that side completely done. Move over to this side, we'll do exactly the same here. Okay. So sometimes you need to lift the arms up a bit, wiggle it around. Okay, that's perfectly in place. So we'll tighten these up now. That's in place. And that is perfectly in place. Just make sure these are good. Right, we are almost there. This way. Cardboard will go. Ideally, what I do is I tend to sort of rubbish.
What about the two nuts?
We'll get those in a minute. Sorry, I'm just moving all the rubbish away. All of that here. And we have these two nuts, M8 nuts. There's two of those there. And you use this gadget. Right. The nut goes obviously flat side there. We'll go here. Make sure it fits in properly. And once that's done, you use that tool and one of these just to make sure it's nice and tight. And then we'll tighten it up. There we go. That's perfect.
Same on the other side.
Exactly the same on the other side. So just make sure that's tight enough there, which it is. On the other side. And then you use this to tighten it up. Again, do the same again, okay? I haven't put that one through enough, so it's not going through right enough at the moment, but it's exactly the same theory as the other side.
Yeah.
Okay? And once they are both on,
That's
yeah, treadmill place, I can then lift the back up slightly. So with two people, it's going to be a lot easier.
yep.
And then pull plastic off. And also remove the plastic from the plug. And a little plastic band as well. Lastly, two more things. Screwdriver here. You get these out. And one will go on that side. And one will go on the other side. Before we do that, we'll cut these straps here that hold the treadmill together. Cut those and we'll dispose of them. In the side you will see that there's already two screws, and that's to hold these covers in place. They're quite long, so sometimes when you tighten them it feels like they go in and take forever. And then it's quite important to make sure they line up nicely. You find the holes. Okay. Sometimes the more you tighten it, it starts to come out here, so you just need to play around with it. As long as it's fairly sturdy when you're finished, that's the main thing. Do the same on the other side. Now, if we're in the customer's house, ideally we'd move the treadmill onto the floor before, rather than it sitting here, so we can do this. So it's a nicer fit. Okay. Obviously we're in the warehouse, so just doing it here at the moment. Not going in properly just because of how it's sitting. Again, it should always be taken off. Yeah, it should be a bit higher up. Okay, that'll do. Like I said, obviously we're in a warehouse now, but you would take that out rather than leaving it on here at a customer's house, and then you'd put these on last. Once that's done, you remove the plastic on the side, anything there, dispose of that, and lastly you have a film that's over the console, the lower part. Sorry. Just make sure it's removed nicely. There's one film there, and there's also one here.
I was just having to my phone. Just used up all the memories. Well, I had about a gig left on here.
That's on. The treadmill is now completely set up, and the only thing the customer will require now in order for it to work is the safety key to be attached to the console, and everything is in place. You just turn it on at the bottom and off at the bottom there, and everything's done. You can fold the treadmill up by lifting it at the back and lock it into place. There's also the plastic bit here you will need to come off. And if the customer asks how you get it down, you just kick it in slightly, lift it at the top a bit, and it will drop down. That is the installation on the Branx Fitness Elite Runner Pro complete.
Lovely job. There we go. Oh, you recording that bit going down? So it's full.